All right, boys and girls, the Screen Team is back here on today's Talk KWOC, both on 93.3 FM and 9:30 a.m. You can check us out streaming at KWOC.com. Show is being brought to you by Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to us, Fearless Social, and Poplar, Bluff Drywall. We're going to finish up this portion of the show with a film that was released a couple of weeks ago. It's called Deadpool. It's a superhero movie put on by Marvel and 20th Century Fox, but it's not your average, typical, everyday superhero movie. This is a rated R superhero movie.
Boy, is it.
It is rated R with a capital R on this.
Yes. Even the main character sent out a Facebook message to people saying, parents, don't be bad parents. Don't bring your kids to my movie.
Right. And the show that we went to, there was quite a few kids at that particular showing. So,
yeah.
Which was very surprising. I know.
Yeah. You're like, Sabrina, don't say anything. Sabrina, don't say anything. Sabrina,
keep
don't
it down.
say
Keep it down.
anything.
Keep it down.
I say stuff because I care. Although I didn't grab anybody by the shirt collar and say, hey, you dummy, why'd you bring your kids? But, sometimes you just got to wear your passion on your sleeve. And if they overhear,
really?
It shouldn't be so close to me.
So let's talk about Deadpool. I am not the world's expertise on Deadpool, but I think if I can get a loose history right on the character, he's a relatively new character to the whole Marvel universe. I think he's been around for maybe 20 years, maybe. And he is a character that breaks down the fourth wall.
He does.
He talks to the audience.
He even says fourth wall plus fourth wall or times fourth wall for 16 walls.
Right.
I didn't get it, but I followed it.
Because he was doing the fourth wall to you then, and then when they showed the flashback, it was a fourth wall right there.
I'm so glad you got that.
I did. All right, so what do we think about this movie? Did you like it?
Okay, so yes, I enjoyed watching this movie because I'm a grown-up and can handle the content appropriately. But the reason I wanted to see it had nothing to do with Deadpool, the comics.
Why did you want to see it?
Because it had Ryan Reynolds in it, and he's hot and sexy.
So that's the only reason why you wanted to see this film.
It's
it was
so true.
Ryan Reynolds.
So true, yeah.
Because it was funny. I was like, I was going to let you off the hook with this one. I was going to get some other people to go and do the review, and you were like, "Oh, I want to go.
I want to see it."
I was like, "Really?
I
you
love
go?
his sense of humor, and
does.
It's all Ryan Reynolds in this thing. It's all over it, from the opening credits right down
to the very end.
Right down to the little nugget hidden in the credits.
So Ryan Reynolds' character, Wade Wilson, is a pretty... He's not a superhero to begin with. He doesn't have superpowers.
No.
He's
just a guy that...
He's kind of a dirty guy, but he takes care of other dirty guys. Like, he's a bad guy who makes money by beating up other bad guys.
Right. Like opening sequence. Quit stalking this girl. Okay, that's what he's doing. He's out to get this guy to stop stalking this girl.
And he gets paid for it.
And he gets paid for it. So you kind of get the gist of it.
So then we find out that he falls in love with a beautiful brunette stripper prostitute girl.
Pretty much, yep.
So they fall in love.
Their crazies match.
That's it. I think that's a good way of putting it. So they fall in love. Everything's going swell, and then they find out that he's got cancer.
Stage 4, multiple organs coursing through his whole entire body. There's no hope. There's no cure.
Until he meets a seedy guy in the back alley saying, "Hey, we can help you. We can get rid of your cancer.
We can turn you into a superhero."
So he decides to ditch the girl because he doesn't want to hurt her anymore. Right. He doesn't want to put her through the anguish of what they have to go through.
What if it doesn't work?
Right. So he goes, and they basically torture him with all this...
Torture.
They inject him with stuff to make his genes mutate to be a mutant.
Yes.
And
they create an X-Man.
They do. But they also created an enemy too, yes, because he was obviously not happy with the situation he was in. So then you find out that he wants to kill the main bad guy in this particular film. So that's where we're going to leave.
Where's your boss?
Where's Francis? So this movie has got bad language. Mm-hmm. This movie has got tons of violence.
Yep.
It's got nudity.
Yep.
And it's awesome.
And there's sex scenes.
Yeah. Was that a question?
No.
Oh,
just
okay.
Making sure you've completed the thought.
Oh, my thought was completed a long time ago with that. So you liked it. I definitely liked it. I thought it was a fun movie. I'm
almost ashamed that I enjoyed this movie.
But why?
Because it has everything in it I don't approve of.
So you feel bad that you liked it?
I feel bad that I enjoyed it.
I like these kind of movies. I like the raunchiness of it. I like that it was funny. I like that it didn't take itself too seriously. I like the inside jokes. It takes stabs at other comic book characters.
Yes, it does.
Like Wolverine and even a lot of DC characters like Batman and Robin and Green Lantern and
all kinds of it's all out there. Just on the humor alone, I enjoyed the humor. I liked that sense of humor that they brought to all of the back and forth banter. It's priceless. Could they have done this movie without the other stuff? I don't think so. I think it's a whole package.
And I think this was the movie that the comic book, I don't want to say nerds, but the enthusiasts were looking for. Yeah. Deadpool was actually in the X-Men Origins film with Wolverine.
Right, at the very, very end.
At the very, very end. And they sewed his mouth shut and stuff like that. And that wasn't the character that the comic book people were looking for. This was it, and there was a lot of worry when this film was in production that there wasn't going to be the language, because in the comics there's the language, there's the sense of humor, there's all of that, and they
even threaten in this movie to sew his mouth shut.
They do. So the heads of the studio and the writers made this a full-on rated R movie. A full-on rated R comic book movie, which you never see,
And the house was packed.
The house is packed.
We couldn't even get all the screen teamers to sit together.
No. And there's going to be a sequel. So get ready for that. And if you do go, make sure you stay for the entire credits, because there's 2 post-credit scenes. So make sure you stay. And we're going to say it again. You know your kids better than we do. But just to remind you, this movie does have the language. It does have the violence. It does have the nudity and the sex scenes and all that kind of stuff in there. So if you want to go, just know that going in.
It's not forgiving. It's not a romantic love scene. It's just hardcore, everything in your face. It's adult. It's a full adult movie.
And it is. It's called Deadpool. And it's out in theaters right now. Coming up next week, Sabrina, we're going to have Kadam and Emily in the studio, and we're going to be reviewing Johnny Depp films.
What? I'm not on that show?
No, you got the week off. We're going to be doing The Corpse Bride, also Sleepy Hollow, and we're going to finish up with the new Johnny Depp film called Black Mass. So that's all coming your way next Saturday. For Sabrina and Chris, we are the Screen Team right here on KWOC.